So I was born and raised in Vietnam, and I'm a Vietnamese cook. I escaped Vietnam in 1978 after the Vietnam War, and my family and I were known as the boat people. So we came during that time. So this is what the boat looked like. This is not the boat that we went in. So, this is just an example what it was. It was about 200 to 300 people on this fishing boat, type of boat. So it's not a luxury boat, and everybody's out for one thing, it's freedom. The risk is really high. I was 10. Yeah, I remember a lot of things. Yeah. So I believe when you're 10, I think it's your brain has developed a lot already. So a lot of tradition and things that I've learned when I was in Vietnam, I kept. So I'm very fortunate to be able to remember a lot of things. My whatever memories I have are good memories, and even my writing and my Vietnamese is still there. I kept it, and I teach myself, and I try to harness it as much as I can. You know, in a Vietnamese household, you don't have like a jar of flour, for baking needs, because we never thought about, you don't think about baking, things like that. We just cook. And another thing is refrigeration is not everybody has a refrigerator. So whatever you cook, you eat that day. You go to the market in the morning, you come home with fresh stuff, you cook, you eat. By the end of the day, everything's gone. Nothing is saved because you can't save it overnight, it'll go bad. Unless you pickle it or you do something that you don't need to refrigerate. So that's one thing about, you get fresh food all the time. When I was growing up, now I'm sharing you with when I'm there, but things may have changed since then. I remember every morning there would be a vendor coming by. He would carry like loaves of bread on the bicycle, and he would carry fresh loaves of baguettes, the French bread. I love baguette, this big long thing, and we would always get a loaf, and that's our breakfast, and that's it. And coffee. Remember, my mom would cook a big giant pot of coffee, and then she diluted with milk and sugar, and then we would dip our bread into that, and that was our breakfast. Yeah, that was it. But we don't have bread every day. Occasionally, every now and then. But I love remembering that, the smell of bread. It was just, it's really good. Salads. Do you think there's Vietnamese salads? You think? Have you had any? If it is, it's French influence. Because when I was growing up, there's only one meal that I know that my dad would make every now and then. He would fillet beef, saute it in tomato and onions and scallions and other things, vegetables, tomatoes and things like that, and he'll saute it, and then he'll put on top of lettuce. And that's the only salad that I know. But when I came here, when I was introduced into salad, I did not like it. I like my food hot, and salad is the opposite. And I like it cooked, and it's raw. So I'm like, oh. But I remember when we escaped, when we first hit land, and we were in Malaysia, and we were starving. We being the kids, were starving, so hungry. My mom, what she did was she found a little bit of rice, and there was nothing else. It was late. There was nothing else available. It's just the rice. So we were on the beach. So I remember there's like rocks along the beach, and there's these mussels. I think they're mussels attached to the rocks. Well, she said, let's crack them open and pull out the mussels. And she used that and made soup with the rice.